Students, now I am discussing the third method of how to arrive at the critical path. So first was trial and error method. Next was the event time method. Now the third method is a float method. So under the float method, we need to follow the steps. So we have got 9 steps here. 9 columns have to be drawn. So it is very clearly given here. I will just run through and explain to you while I am working out the columns. So write the given job. First column is write the given job. Now you will have so many jobs which are to be done, so that will be very much there in the network diagram. If you see, then when you draw the network diagram, so there will be series of jobs which need to be executed: 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 2 to 4, 1 to 4 and 4 to 5. So these things shall be taken care of, and they will be written in column 1. Second column is write the duration for the activity. So for each activity, the duration will be given. So those durations shall be written down. So after that, column 3 is find the earliest start time. That is earliest start time of the tail event. So here if you see, when you take any job, there will be either the head event and the tail events. So what you need to do is, we'll have to write down the same here. Okay, so find the earliest finish time of an activity. So earliest finish time is ES, what you get in column 3 plus column 2. So both are added up. Column 5 is enter the values on this column after column 6. So here latest start time is latest finish minus the duration. So first we'll have to work out column 6. So latest finish time of the head event, and column 7 is the total slack or total float, which is equal to total float is equal to LS minus ES, or total float is equal to LF minus EF. Column 8 is free float. Free float is equal to total float minus head event slack. Column 9 is independent float. Independent float is equal to free float minus tail event slack. So you just make a note of the same. I shall explain this with the network diagram that we have already drawn. Now this is the network diagram that we have drawn. So now what I do is, I'll just write down the columns here. Is it not? So column 1 is the job. Column 2 is the duration. Okay. Column 3 is earliest start time. Okay. Okay. So it is of the tail event. So you need to take the earliest start time of the tail event. Then column 5 is earliest finish time, which is equal to ES plus D. Okay. So next is column 5, which is LS, which is equal to LF minus D, latest finish time minus the duration. So column 6 is the latest finish time. So latest finish time of the head event. Next is the total float. So total float is equal to LS minus ES. So this we have already calculated, right? So column 5 minus column 3. Next is the free float. Free float is equal to total float minus head event slack. Finally, the last column, that is independent float. The independent float is equal to free float minus tail event slack. So first thing is that you will have to draw all the 9 columns. Now let us look into the jobs that we have. Okay. So looking into the network diagram, we have to write the jobs one below the other. First is here 1 to 3. Next is 1 to 2. So here it is 1 to 4. Right. Next is 2 to 3. Then 2 to 4. 3 to 5, 4 to 5. So we are listing down the jobs which are there. So 1 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 to 4, then 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 5 and 4 to 5. So we have to write the duration for the completion of each jobs. So that is very much given to you in the problem itself. Okay. So that is very much given to you in the job itself. This is a problem. So this duration is very much here. So we are making note of the same. Now we have to calculate the third column, which is the earliest start time of the tail event. Now if you take into consideration here 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 is here, right? So here what we'll have to take the earliest start time. Okay. So earliest start time for 1 to 3 for the tail event is 0. Right? So here we are taking 0 here. So the one which is written within the boxes need to be taken here. So here for 1 to 2 it is again this one only 0. So 1 to 4 same 0. Whereas from 2 to 3, from 2 to 3 it is 4. From 2 to 4 again it is 4. 3 to 5. So from 3 to 5 it is 4. Then 4 to 5 it is 4. So we will have to take the earliest start time of the tail event. Now we will have to work out the next column, that is fourth column, which is nothing but ES plus duration, right? So here we will have to add up these two. 4 2 plus 0 is 2, 4 4 9 and 8. So this is how we arrive at the fourth column. Now coming down to the fifth column, it is latest finish time minus the duration. So here we cannot work out this column unless we work out this. Okay, latest finish time of the head event. So what we are going to do is, in this particular diagram, we will have to take for each job what is the latest finish time of the head event. Okay, now if you take 1 to 3, 1 to 3 it is 4. So I am writing 4 here in the sixth column. Now from 1 to 2 it is, again it is 4. 1 to 4 it is 5. The one which is written within the triangle. Okay. So 2 to 3. So 2 to 3, from 2 to 3 if you see, 4 is what you get here. From 2 to 4, again it is 4 only here. Sorry, it is 5. Now 3 to 5 if you see, 3 to 5 it is 9. 4 to 5 it is 9. Now what you should do is, after arriving at this, you will have to deduct the duration. So 4 minus 3 is 1, 4 minus 4 is 0, 5 minus 2 is 3, 4 minus 0 is 4, 5 minus 0 is 5, 9 minus 5 is 4, then 9 minus 4 is 5. So this is how this column 5 is arrived at. Now the total float is LS minus ES. So here I have to take LS minus ES. So it is 1 minus 0 is 1. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Then 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. 5 minus 4 is 1. 4 minus 4 is 0. Then 5 minus 4 is 1. So this is how I arrive at the total float. Now free float has to be taken. So total float minus head slack. Okay. So here what we will have to do is, we will have to go by each activity. Okay. So what we should do is, we have to go by each activity and find out what is the total float and the head event slack. Now let us work out the total float. We can just write down first whatever is the total float that we have arrived at. Now let us work out the head event slack. Now if you take into consideration the first one, that is 1 to 3, the head event slack is nothing but the difference between the numbers which are written within the rectangular box and the triangle. Now if you take into consideration 1 to 3, so here we have to take the head event slack, is it not? So 1 to 3 it is this, so minus 0 is 1. Now 1 to 2 the head event slack is 0, 0. Now 1 to 4 the head event slack is 1, so you get 2 here. Now 2 to 3 it is 2 to 3 it is 0, so we get 0. 2 to 4 it is 1, 0. 3 to 5 it is 0, so 0. 4 to 5 it is 0, so 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. So this is how we arrive at the free float. Independent float is equal to free float minus the tail event slack. Okay, so what we should do is, first let us write down whatever free float we have got, then let us work out the tail event slack. Now if you take into consideration 1 to 3, so it is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now for 1 to 2 it is 0. Now 1 to 4 it is 0. So you get 2. Likewise I am doing for, so from 2 to 3 the tail event slack is 0 here. Tail event slack is 0. 2 to 4 the same thing holds good, 0. Then from 3 to 5 the tail event slack is 0, so 0. Then from 4 to 5 it is 1. So here if you observe, this is how we work out the tables for the computation under float method. Now here if you observe that the critical path is from 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 5. So you should have the independent float to be 0 for the jobs which are there in the critical path. So now if you observe here, this is what is the critical path that we have arrived at going by the diagram here, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 5. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 5. If you observe here, the values are 0. So this is how we calculate the floats and identify the critical path under the float method. So in case the independent floats are gotten as negative values, you should consider it as 0. I'll repeat, if you get the independent floats to be negative, you should consider it to be 0. With this, I complete this particular problem. Thank you.